will start out in the Dust Bowl. Now, I was not planning on starting out in the Dust Bowl. I was like, that's not going to be that good a game. And here we are. Here we are discussing, as Oklahoma the stage, game number one. Game one of the Western Conference semifinals. Nikola Jokic leading the Nuggets into OKC for a matchup with Shai, Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder. And that was the nightcap after the Boston Celtics gagged at home against the Knickerbockers in overtime. Blew a 20-point lead in the final minutes of that game to lose in overtime. So I was like, okay, that'll be the lead. And then, no. The Nuggets and Thunder got together and upset City as Nikola Jokic had 42 points, 22 rebounds, a partridge in a pear tree, and Aaron Gordon from downtown, the dagger. The three-point shot there in the closing seconds. And the Nuggets with a mind-blowing 121. Is that too dramatic? Mind-blowing? They win by 2. They come back over the top-seeded Thunder there in the late game on Monday night. So Oklahoma City was out of timeouts after Gordon hit the three-point shot. They missed a desperation heave as time expired. Turn out the lights, the party's over. Just like that. And so Gordon had 22 points, 14 rebounds. That's decent. I'd rather lose on a three-point shot than a dunk like the Clippers lost to the Nuggets on right at the buzzer. But Gordon, the game winner again. Jamal Murray, who was spotty in this game at 21 points. And so the 4 seed, the Nuggets, get home court. Game 2 will be on Wednesday back in the Sooner State. I know you're excited about that. But the better story is in the losing locker room. So that is where we will begin this rant and rave in the night. So let us discuss the question. Despite dropping 33 points, 33, how much of the blame does Shai Gilgeous-Alexander deserve for OKC in this one? So I've got Planet Fitness, CDC approved, and West Virginia. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make some baloney because the Thunder were full of baloney the way they played in the final minutes of this particular game. So the anatomy of a rally, I've often pointed out that most games are lost, not won. So to answer the question, despite having 33 points, SGA, how much of the blame does he deserve? Quite a bit of the blame baloney. Quite a bit of the blame baloney for Oklahoma City. You're the headliner. You're the face of the franchise. Blah, 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 blah. De facto MVP, right? He's going to win the MVP award. Be very surprising if he doesn't win the MVP award here for the regular season. And all of that stuff is deserved. All of it is deserved, right? Had a fine year. It was great. Oklahoma City won a bunch of games and all that. But in this moment, I learned this from Stan Lee. You've got to go Spider-Man. Right? With great power comes great responsibility, and if you're all that good stuff, you're the MVP, you're the face of the franchise, yada, 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 that means in the final minutes, you get it done. You get the job done. Did he do that? No, he did not get the job done. You don't put the team on your back, and you're going to get called out on it. And he didn't. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in this particular situation, did not step up in crunch time. Instead of going out to Planet Fitness and lifting weights and putting the team on your back and all that stuff, he's like, you know what? I'm going to go hit the hay and take a snooze. I'm going to catch some Z's is what I'm going to do. Now, what is my evidence? Down the stretch, if you look at the final part of the game, SGA took 6 shots. Now, the game was blown in the final 6:39 or so of the game, as Denver was able to outscore the opposition to close the game. They outscored by 15 down the stretch. It was a domination situation to close out the game. So the question becomes, okay, you're Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Thunder as a team shot 28%, but he's the MVP, right? He's the guy. He had 9 points, but got outscored by his rival. I know they play a different position, but the Joker, Nikola Jokic, had 16 And so you're -7 in the head-to-head MVP guy, and so you lose by 2. You can do the math on that. You don't need me to do the MALLER math. Denver also shot 62% to close out the game, and it was a collective suck, though. To be totally fair, Shai deserves the lion's share of the blame because he's supposed to be the greatest player in basketball this year, and he didn't play like it. But you look around, and the other suckbag players for Oklahoma City, you've got Chet Holmgren, who was like a Walmart greeter, leaving the door open for Denver as he missed not 1 but 2 big free throws. Nobody guarding him. There's no one guarding you. That's a play anyone can make. It's the only play I can think of in team sports that anyone can do at a professional level. Make a foul shot in a game. There's no one that's going to block you. No one is going to take the ball from you. You stand at the line. Everyone's standing around watching you. You just hold the ball, dribble, shoot. In this case, dribble, clank, 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 clank. Man. So that allowed, as the Walmart greeter, Chet Holmgren, that allowed the Nuggets to get the ball out, and then the game-winning shot at the end by Aaron Gordon. So that allowed it at the bitter end there. And the Thunder, who were either number 1 or number 2 in just about every defensive category in pro bouncy ball this year, how did they play in the second half? Let's see here. Denver shot 50% in the second half and scored 71 points in the final 24 minutes. Outstanding defense, boys. Way to go. Way to shut them down. Good job by you. Yikes. All right, now, what does this win, we'll go to the other side, page 2. What does this win now do for the Nikola Jokic Nuggets as they get the game 1 wins? It's best of 7. It's only one game and all that stuff. But you obviously set the tone. Doesn't guarantee anything. There is no such thing as momentum. It's not like now Denver's going to win the next 3 games and they have all the momentum. That is bullcrap. You know it's bullcrap. So you don't have to worry about that. However, it gives you the upper hand. And especially in a series like this, where you've got one team that has players that have had success in the playoffs, and you've got another team with a bunch of jabronis in Oklahoma City when it comes to the playoffs. And so it's a CDC-approved booster shot for Denver, right? It's a booster shot. Helps keep the immunity level up. And more importantly, what it does is it is not so much the confidence. I don't think Denver needs any confidence per se. They're a proud, Hardy bunch and all that stuff. But what this does is mess with the mojo of OKC. And that's the key here, right? Many have pointed out that's a fragile team. That is a team that has been lampooned by many, Oklahoma City, as a paper tiger. They're a paper tiger, right? They're just a bit of a fraud. Regular season team, not built for the big moment and all that. And in game 1 of this series, they absolutely proved that. They absolutely proved that is the case. And so you can expect that Oklahoma City, what are they going to do now? They're going to have to go back, and the coach is going to start tinkering a little bit, say, what did we do wrong? Who effed up? And now they have that extra pressure with a capital P. And, oh, man. Now, it has been said by many that pressure is a privilege, right? And that is true. It is also a double-edged sword. It is a double-edged sword, and it's one of the fun things about the playoffs. We don't really care much about the regular season in the NBA, but in the playoffs, in all sports, it's who rises to the occasion, right? It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It's what you do in that moment. And rising to the pressure of the moment, and it's one of those things, right? You talk about the pressure, capital P and all that, and pressure has, as we've talked about in recent days, pipes burst from pressure, right? Pipes burst, kaboom, from pressure. Also, diamonds are made from pressure. So will you be a diamond or will you be a pipe? And at this moment, we do the show right now, tonight, at this moment, the Thunder are the pipe and Denver is the diamond at this particular moment in time. And as far as the bigger story, just side by side for the Nuggets, is it the Nikola Jokic 42-point, 22-rebound performance, or is it the clutch Aaron Gordon game-winning basket? So I have an unpopular opinion. As good as Jokic was, He set the Nuggets up, but without the final dagger. It doesn't work out. Without the shot, the game-winning shot, obviously, the math doesn't work out, and the Nuggets would have lost and said, wow, Jokic played as well as he could possibly play, and Denver still lost the game. Boo-hoo-hoo. If that's a brick house, we're in a parallel dimension. We're doing a much different Maller monologue about how lucky Oklahoma City is that they won this game and how Denver, we know what would have been said if that shot had been missed. We know how that would have gone. Well, it's because of fatigue. They were exhausted. Give the Nuggets a break. I would like to address that. Okay. Pet peeve. I realize that I'm wired a little differently than a lot of the other gas bags and blowhards, but this is a pet peeve. So I'm watching all these games. I'm sitting on my ass. Should be doing something more productive, but it's part of the job. So fine, I'm watching these games. And we are 3 games in now to the second round of the NBA playoffs. And if you've paid any attention, there is a common theme that has taken place early on in every one of these games. You got Cleveland, Boston, and Oklahoma City, who all lost, all of them losing at home, right? And on the other hand, you've got Indiana, New York, and Denver with little rest, with little time off, and they are all in the winner's circle, all of them, right? So does this postseason prove that extra rest is a killer? Because in these broadcasts, they were all laying it on extra syrupy. But does this postseason, 3 games into the second round, prove that the extra rest in the NBA kills the mojo, kills it when you need it most? So I think this is a lame conversation. I will engage in it, mainly to goof on the common theme among NBA broadcasters. Very small sample size, right? That's important to mention. Very small sample size. And this changes by the year. We've had this conversation in the baseball playoffs. We've had this conversation that would you rather have the top seed and have that first round bye, or would you rather be in the wild card round? And typically it's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies where if a team does well when they have played in the wild card round and not had time off, you say, well, that's what you want. You want the no time off. And then if a team on the other side does well with the rest, you say, okay, like the Dodgers last year and the Yankees both had time off, and they both got to the World Series. Dodgers ended up winning the World Series in baseball. But this NBA conversation, the broadcasters, I wanted to throw something at my TV. Now, the only broadcast I always mute is the Doris Burke broadcast. So whatever game she's doing, I mute. But other than that, I normally have the audio up. Sometimes I turn it down a little bit. But the theme was, oh, man, these Pacers and the Knicks and the Nuggets, the teams that were playing on short rest, it was like they were in West Virginia and they were working in coal mines back in the 70s in West Virginia, right? And cue the John Denver song, Take Me Home, Country Roads, right? As I heard that, I was like, oh my God, these guys, it is oppressive. It is like they're in some kind of slave labor camp. They're playing in the NBA and they only had less than 48 hours off. Oh my God. Nightmare. Oh, holy fatigue, Batman. It's like, geez, you can see the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Shenandoah River, just like the John Denver song. You're like, what is going on here? Somebody get these guys some oxygen and an IV, these NBA players. God forbid you play a 48-minute game that takes 2.5 hours because every 5 minutes the damn referees are going over to check out the damn replay to look at something that, who cares? That's the NBA, right? Let's go, all right. No clear path foul. Okay, that does not rise to the level of a flagrant foul. Thank you. Thanks for taking 7 minutes of my life to decide that. God. Anyway, here's the way it works. In the NBA, there is an excuse every night, every single game, there's an excuse. And since the home teams this season have all lost, and Golden State will test the final leg of this theory, the Warriors off short rest will take on Minnesota, which had a little extra time. So if the Warriors win, oh, man, be prepared. Be prepared. But since the home teams so far have all lost, I can guarantee that since this is after the fact, every excuse maker is going to pivot. Instead of the storyline, which was supposed to be, oh, I can't believe it. It's unreal. All of this time with these teams rested, and since the teams that were rested lost, they're going to pivot and say it's not right. Rust. Makes me want to puke in my mouth.